All right, guys, we've got updated power rankings via NFL.com here as we enter week number 2. We've got updated analytical crap. We're going to be talking about the football power index and then 538 stuff. But first, let's just go through these. So the Bills at number 1. I don't think anyone can deny this. They were ranked number 1 in the preseason, at least according to NFL.com. And then they crush the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions, opening Thursday night. Number 2, Kansas City, up 5 spots. The big question about Kansas City, can they replace Tyreek Hill? Patrick Mahomes is amazing in September. I think they did a good job getting Juju Smith-Schuster, maybe a little bit underutilized in Pittsburgh. Or really, they just had a bunch of receivers in Pittsburgh and he was injured. Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting into the end zone a few times. They still have Travis Kelce, and the defense was really good, although Arizona just looked really out of sync. The Buccaneers at number 3. So the Buccaneers completely shut down Dallas. The offense was a little out of sync. They had to settle for a bunch of field goals, but Tampa Bay's, rush defense is just ridiculous. With Tom Brady, them being number 3, no issues with that. I would probably move the Rams down a little bit more. I've been of the belief since the preseason, something seems to be off with the Rams. And watching them in week 1, watching Cam Akers look, not 100%, not himself, I don't think their running game's going to be very good. I would say Allen Robinson should be fine. Don't overreact to his bad week 1. But the Rams, I'd probably move them to number 6 or number 7. The Chargers at number 5. This was a team I was really high on coming into the season, and, they were in control of that game against the Raiders. They only scored 24 points, but Justin Herbert did have a good game, and they end up winning. A very tough game this week without Keenan Allen on the road. Thursday night, the home opener for the Chiefs. Baltimore at number 6. I think Baltimore's a lock to win the AFC North over both Cincinnati and Cleveland. Obviously, Cleveland without Deshaun Watson until week 13. Baltimore moves up 4 spots. They do what they should have done against a Jets team, uninjured Jets team starting the decrepit corpse of Joe Flacco. Very easy, convincing win. A very kind of boring game for Baltimore. They get it done. Lamar Jackson, 3 touchdowns. They do need J.K. Dobbins back. How about Minnesota? I don't know how you rank Minnesota number 20 in your preseason rankings. At worst, in my opinion, I would put them at like 15. I could tell they were at number 20 because it says they're up 13. Well, it says it right here. I was going to say because it says they're up 13 spots, but you can see the Vikings are a really well put together team. And I don't think it's an overreaction to say they're going to win their division over the Packers. You take a look. So many people are on the Justin Jefferson Offensive Player of the Year train. He is ridiculous. Most receiving yards for any receiver in history through his first 2 seasons. And then the first game of his 3rd season, he gets 184 yards. Ridiculous. The Packers at number 8, I would move the Packers down more. Aaron Rodgers is great, no doubt. The defense is solid. But the Packers did something so egregious in the offseason. They lost Devontae Adams, and they simply didn't replace him. And I told Aaron Rodgers, I screamed it, you need to leave. You're old. You need weapons. When quarterbacks get old, they load themselves with weapons. Look at Tom Brady. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, he had Antonio Brown last year. He had Gronk last year. Leonard Fournette. Look at Peyton Manning in his last years with the Broncos. All of those weapons, Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Julius Thomas, no Sean Moreno. When you get older, just go full offense. But instead, Aaron Rodgers stays with the Packers. The Packers trade Devontae Adams for a first-round pick. They use that first-round pick on a defender. Then they use their other first-round pick on another defender. So the Packers front office is just, I just think they're the most overrated entity in sports. The Green Bay Packers front office, very dumb. They're not number 8 in my opinion. Cincinnati at number 9. Yeah, it's a tough game for Joe Burrow. A lot of turnovers. It is what it is. They're going to bounce back, in my opinion, and crush Dallas. Philadelphia at number 10. It's an overreaction. I think Philadelphia is probably 12 or 13. But I would have San Francisco in front of Philadelphia. They moved San Francisco down 8 spots because they lost a game in a monsoon. I understand they were favorites. You're facing a Chicago team you should beat, but that's an overreaction. You lose a game in a monsoon. You shouldn't move down 8 spots. The Saints up 1 spot. I don't think the Saints looked amazing. They do have good skill position players. Pairing Chris Olave with a healthy Michael Thomas, and you've got the veteran Jarvis Landry with Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. That's good. The bad, Atlanta leading that entire game. They had to come back and barely win. I don't know if I'd be moving the Saints up. I definitely have Miami over the Saints. I'll tell you that much. Miami, really impressive win. The Patriots did nothing to help Mac Jones in the offseason. I don't understand it, but Miami with a good win. Tua looked okay. I think the most important game of week 2 is Miami at Baltimore. Would be a huge win for Miami. Vegas, yeah, I would have Vegas well behind Indianapolis. I think Vegas, honestly, every week I feel like I would rank Vegas like 15th or 16th. Like they're just... Maybe they are better than middle of the road, but it's just Vegas is so tough to rank because they're in such a hard division. They really are. But I would have them below Indianapolis. I'm really high on Indianapolis. They had a really bad week 1 for sure. But I would say let's not overreact to it. Great offensive line, superstar running back, good young wide receiver that's emerging, veteran quarterback who still has something left, and a really good defense. I like Indianapolis. They should be fine. This is a major overreaction. Again, I would have Denver at least inside the top 12. You talk about Denver. Yes, it's a bad loss to a Seattle team we all thought was going to be really bad. The context of it was so fluky. First-year head coach, his first game, horrible clock management, the 2 fumbles at the goal line. All of that had to happen for them to lose. Let's not overreact. Let's calm down. Moving them down 8 spots is a bit ridiculous. Tennessee's got to be lower than 17. Tennessee has just no receivers. They've got no receivers. Seattle, yeah, I would have Seattle at like 25th. It's a nice win, but you're overreacting a little bit. Pittsburgh at 19. I think that's fair for Pittsburgh. Great win in Cincinnati, but it's got to be a little concerning. You have a turnover differential of like +5, and it takes overtime, and it takes Evan McPherson missing a 30-yard field goal for you to win. I think Kenny Pickett starts by week 5 for Pittsburgh. They just need more offense. The Browns up 2 spots. Yeah, the Browns are really talented, but right now with Jacoby Brissett, they're really boring. Jacoby Brissett was not good against Carolina. He missed several throws. They're a complete one-dimensional team. And, I think they need to win they certainly need to beat the Jets. The middle of their schedule is very tough, but they're very talented. You've got Denzel Ward, you've got Myles Garrett, you've got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the best running back tandem in the NFL. It's just the quarterback right now, and we know the suspension. The Giants up 7 spots. I can buy that. Saquon Barkley looked really good. Daniel Jones is looking like a typical game manager that can run a little bit. I don't mind that at all. Arizona, I would probably have Arizona a little bit higher than this. But yeah, Arizona is trending down. They're missing that true number 1 receiver. Hollywood Brown is a good compliment, but you really need DeAndre Hopkins back. They're just missing something on offense, and their defense gets destroyed by Patrick Mahomes. My goodness. New England, New England just has no offensive playmakers. Mac Jones gets injured. Apparently, he's going to play week 2. At least that's the report I saw. But yeah, New England certainly trending down. I would have the Commanders up higher than this. I think the Commanders maybe around 19 or 20th. They've got playmakers. You've got Curtis Samuel after basically losing an entire year with hamstring issues or whatever he had last year. He's back. He's a Deebo Samuel type player. Really good. And then you've got 2 other receivers, including a first-round pick. I like the Commanders. I probably have them 20th. The Bears at 25. I can respect that. The Bears never should have been last. I think that's ridiculous with some of the other teams. The Bears, they always seem to at least get to 6 or 7 wins. And, that's a great week 1 win. Justin Fields, I still feel bad for Justin Fields. You're not giving him any weapons. your second best receiver is Byron Pringle, folks. What are we doing here? 26, Detroit. Yeah, Detroit really fought and played okay. They certainly have some talent they're building. They just need a franchise quarterback. They've got a good offensive line. They've got a good young running back. They've got a good young receiver. They've got another young receiver that's coming along. You know, the first-round pick, Jameson. So this is a team that is really stacking talent. They just need that quarterback. Dallas is down a ton due to the injury. That's understandable. There was a report that Dak might come back a little earlier. But if Cooper Rush is your quarterback, you're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Houston, yeah, I'm not buying Houston at all, personally. So them moving down one, you know, maybe people are surprised because they did tie. They were like 8-point underdogs at home, and they were up 20-3 in the fourth quarter and end up tying. 29 Carolina, I think that's an overreaction. Carolina's better than 29th. I know they lost, but Baker Mayfield had a really good second half. And they have good offensive talent with DJ Moore and McCaffrey. Atlanta at 30th. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably have them at 30th or 31. They could have easily won, but they're still not a good team. Probably tanking for a Q. Although maybe Desmond Ridder is the answer. I think Desmond Ridder is is Atlanta's starting quarterback by week maybe 9 or 10. Jacksonville at 31. It's understandable. You know, they actually kind of came back against the Commanders and were leading for a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, the Jets had probably the worst performance of week 1 in terms of offense. Just crazy. Joe Flacco. So bad. So, yeah, those are the top 32 there. The FPI, this is based off of, like, Vegas odds. So this is a little bit wonky, guys. The FPI has Tampa Bay number 1 by 3 full points, which doesn't make any sense to me. And then they've got Green Bay over Buffalo. So, pretty crazy there. Cincinnati, I can understand not wanting to overreact, but I would still have Kansas City in front of Cincinnati. Baltimore, the Chargers, the Rams. Eagles are at 9. Colts are at 10. I like that. Raiders are at 12. Wow. The Broncos, 14. Carolina at number 15. Miami right in the middle. I think Miami should be higher than that. And you can see the rest of the rankings just right there. Dallas is second last. That's QB adjusted. They've adjusted with Cooper Rush in the lineup. According to the FBI, they're the second worst team in the NFL. And then these are just the overall predictions for 538. And they do it with the top quarterback, the overall model. This is with the QBs. So this is I would say this looks pretty accurate. Bills, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Chargers. I really like the Chargers. Maybe a little bit high on the Vikings. Ravens, Packers, yeah, you still have to keep them there. Eagles, Rams, Browns, they're getting that negative 115 QB value because Jacoby Brissett is starting, not Deshaun Watson. You can see the Cowboys getting neg 157 for their overall value, and they got crushed. So those are the overall rankings. And this is 538. They've got the overall playoffs, like the Bills an 88% chance, Buccaneers 86, Chiefs 79. It's tough to really quantify the context when it comes to like playoff chances right now going into week 2. It just really doesn't make sense. The overall changes, the worst teams, the Rams, the Packers, the Cowboys, the 49ers had the worst changes. Not surprised there. And then I think you can look at the quarterbacks. This is where the pretty wonky QB rankings come into play. I mean, look at Josh Allen's value compared to everyone else. I would say Tua should have more valuable than he does, but Mac Jones and Tua are the same. I would put Tua slightly in front of Mac Jones, but I guess they are comparable. Look at Deshaun Watson's value. But this is just the over. Like, see, this is the problem with the ELO. They've got Mitch Trubisky having this actually more value than Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. So it's like, how are we supposed to take this seriously when you have something like that? Tannehill, like Nick Foles over Matt. So they're saying you should start, like, guys, I can't do it. They're saying Nick Foles is better than Matt Ryan. Guys, I know Matt Ryan's not been great the past few years, but come on. Davis Mills is better than Matt Ryan? Oh my God. CJ Beathard is well, I mean, I understand Trevor Lawrence is younger. Mahomes, Herbert, both really good. Russell, who's this? Chad Henne is almost better than Derek Carr. See, this is where these rankings are just weird. Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew better than Wentz. maybe Gardner Minshew actually is better. Aaron Rodgers, man, people are overrating Cousins. I like Cousins. I think Cousins gets too much hate, but we're starting to make him an elite QB. Come on. Trevor Siemian over Justin Fields. It's because Fields does not have good stats. Brady, Jameis, Mariota, Darnold, and Baker are the same. Baker is better than Darnold. That's disrespectful. Murray and Stafford, I understand Stafford had a bad week 1. Geno Smith and Drew Lock, I agree. Geno Smith and Drew Lock are basically the same. And then they have Jimmy G over Trey Lance because Trey Lance barely has played. So those are the quarterback rankings. But guys, that's going to do it for my update on the power rankings heading into week 2. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.